Okay, so let us start a new topic, agricultural income. Let us discuss this topic, the meaning of agricultural income and tax treatment of agricultural income. First of all, agricultural income in India is 100% exempt from tax under Section 10 Clause 1. If you read Section 10, you will find that agricultural income is 100 agricultural income in India, not outside India. If you have earned agricultural income outside India, that is not exempt from tax in India. But within India, agricultural income is 100% exempt. This is my first point. Second, what is the meaning of agricultural income? It is not so simple. Section 2, clause 1A defines the meaning of agricultural income. Let me show you the website. Let me show you the Act, Section 2, clause 1A. That what is this agricultural income? Because it is 100% tax free. So we must know the meaning. So let me show you the Act. You can see the definition, Section 2, clause 1A. Agricultural income means. So what is this agricultural income? This is what agricultural income is. You have to do this definition. What is this agricultural income? So clause A, sorry, subclause A. Section 2, clause 1A, subclause A. Any rent or revenue derived from land which is situated in India and is used for agricultural purpose. Agricultural income doesn't mean only that income which is because of some rice wheat or because of some plants, etc. Selling of those grains or selling of crops. No, even rental income can be agricultural income. This is what subclause A says. Any rent or revenue derived from that land which is in India, and if that land is used for agricultural purposes. So if any farmer has given his or her land which is being used for agricultural purposes on rent, that rental income earned by this farmer is also agricultural income which is tax free. This is first point. Even rental income from agricultural land, agricultural income which is tax free. Now, other than rent, any other income derived from this land which is situated in urban area and is used for agricultural purpose by doing agriculture, by the performance by a cultivator or receiver of rent in kind of any process ordinarily employed by a cultivator or receiver of rent in kind to render the produce raised or received by him fit to be taken to market. When crops are grown and when you cut the crops, wheat, rice, mustard seeds, etc. गेहूं जिस तरह से आता है फसल में तो एक पौधे में लगता है वो. So many times some operations are also employed to make that produce from land fit for sale in the market. पूरी फसल नहीं बिकती है, जाके गेहूं को बोरियों में डाल के बेचा जाता है. That income is also agricultural income. So if suppose I'm doing that work, which will help in converting the crop into that product which is available for sale in the market. गेहूं की फसल की कटाई होगी, उसमें से चूरा अलग से निकल जाता है. अगर आपने देखा जो गाय या भैंस गाय खाती है, जो चूरा होता है वो क्या होता है, यही होता है. गेहूं अलग रह जाते हैं और फसलों का कट के चूरा अलग हो जाता है. That process is also an income. If any farmer will hire that work, if some farmer will hire that machine, so that machine, the income of that machine which will convert this crop into a produce which is fit for sale in the market is also agricultural income. तो उस मशीन पे भी जो इनकम अर्न होगी उस मशीन वाले को भी कोई टैक्स देने की जरूरत नहीं है गवर्नमेंट को, बिकॉज दैट इज आल्सो नोन एज व्हाट एग्रीकल्चरल इनकम. So the scope of agricultural income is very huge. To make sure that most of the people who are related in the work of providing food grains to the nation, their income is made tax free. So that is also tax free income. So agricultural income is not only the income which is earned by a farmer. Even rental income earned on the agricultural land is agricultural income. On that land, whatever machine is used which will convert that crop into a produce which is fit for sale in the market, if that whatever is income is earned because of that machine, that is also agricultural income. And clause C, subclause C, any income derived from any building, not only land now, it's a building now. In subclause A and B, land was used. Now in subclause C, building word has come. Any income derived from any building owned and occupied by the receiver of the rent or revenue of any such land, or occupied by the cultivator or the receiver of rent in kind of any land with respect to which or the produce of which any process mentioned in paragraphs 2 and 3 of subclause B is carried on, provided the building is owned in the immediate vicinity of the land and is a building which the receiver, now it is a technical, so let me simplify this point. On any agricultural land, so many times buildings are also made. हर खेतों में ना कुछ एक कमरा सा बना दिया जाता है या एक दो कमरे बना दिए जाते हैं जहां पर गेहूं को स्टोर करेंगे, बारिश से बचाने के लिए कुछ भी कर सकते हैं उसमें. So don't get confused with the word land only. Subclause C says even the income earned from that building which is situated on that agricultural land in India, that is also agricultural income. If some person has given that building on rent which is situated on that land which is in India, agricultural land in India, that rental income of that building is also what? Agricultural income. That's it. Now for your level this much is sufficient, otherwise in reality the meaning of agricultural income is technical. It requires more study and more time. So what you should learn is it means any three. Even rental income earned or any revenue from any land which is agricultural land and is situated in rural area, which is situated in India. Any revenue or rent from an agricultural land which is situated in India is agricultural income. Any rent or any revenue derived from any process which has been performed on that agricultural land which is situated in India, and the process converted the crop fit for sale in the market, is also agricultural income. And any income on the building which is situated on this agricultural land which is in India, the income from that building is also what? Agricultural income. That's it. For your level, broadly these 3 points are more than sufficient, otherwise in reality it requires a detailed discussion. That's is the meaning of agricultural land little bit clear? Section 2 clause 1a. It requires self-study on your part also. Have you understood the main crux of agricultural income? If yes, please raise your hand.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, there used to be written that receiver of rent in kind and cash. Like, what does this particular part mean?
So many times in such businesses, barter system also prevails. Barter, where the goods are exchanged for goods. So many times if I am providing some services, like I have provided my machine to a farmer, which will convert that crop into a product which is fit for sale in the market. The farmer may not give me the income in cash, but might be giving me 100 kg of wheat. That is what rent in kind. Point
Okay,
clear?
sir. Yes, sir.
Because in such operations, so many times, in kind are things are also received, because farmer will say that I don't have the money, you take some crop for me. That's it. That is in kind. Now, so I have discussed 2 points, that agricultural land in India is 100% exempt from tax. And second point, meaning of agricultural income. And now the third point, use of agricultural income in computing the tax liability. Agricultural income in India is 100% tax free, but it will be used to compute my tax liability. It will be used how? Now this is written in Finance Act. Every year Finance Act tells you this process of taxing the agricultural income. So let me show you the Finance Act 2020. Income Tax Act doesn't talk about this. Finance Act talks about it. This is Finance Act, latest Finance Act 2020. This is Finance Act 2020. It is section 2 of the Finance Act 2020. It is section 2. And what it says now? It is section 2. And let me show you section 2, subsection 2. Section 2, subsection 2, what it says. In the cases to which paragraph A of part 1, do you remember part 1 of the first schedule? Part 1 of the first schedule gives you the tax rate of financial year 1920. Part 3 of the first schedule will give you the tax rate of financial year 2021. If I am reading Finance Act 20, Finance Act 20 means Feb 2020. Feb 2020 means which comes in the financial year 1920. Always my part 1 of the first schedule gives me the tax rate of previous year 1920 if it is Finance Act 20. And my part 3 of the first schedule gives me the tax rate of coming year, previous year 2021. So what section 2 subsection 2 talks about? In the cases to which paragraph A means what? Individual assessing. Paragraph A means what? Individual and HUF. In the cases to which paragraph A of part 1 of the first schedule applies, that means whenever you have to compute the tax liability of an individual or HUF for the previous year 1920, then where the assessee has in the previous year, which previous year 1920, any net agricultural income, net agri, what do I mean by net agriculture? Gross agriculture income minus expenses incurred to earn the agriculture income. So whenever my net agricultural income, that means after deducting the expenses, exceeds 5,000 rupees in addition to the total income, that means of course my total income doesn't include agricultural income because agricultural income is tax free. That is why this language is used, in addition to total income. So my total income is separate thing, agricultural income is separate thing. If my agricultural income exceeds 5,000 and the total income exceeds 2,50,000 rupees. Why 2,50,000 rupees? Because it is talking about those individuals whose tax slab does not exceed 2,50,000. I will read 2,50,000 as 3 lakh rupees when it talks about resident senior citizen. I will read this 2,50,000 as 5 lakh rupees when it talks about resident super senior citizen. So this 2,50,000 is not fixed. I will show this later on. This 2,50,000 will become 3 lakh or 5 lakh depending upon who the assessee is. Then, So if this happens, then what? Then what? Then clause A says what? The net, now is this clear? If net agricultural income is more than 5,000, total income, that means taxable income, is more than the exemption limit, which can be 2 lakh, 50, 3 lakh or 5 lakh. Then what you have to do? Clause A says net agricultural income shall be taken into account in the manner provided in clause B. I will see now clause B. That is to say, as if the net agricultural income were comprised in the total income after the first 2,50,000 rupees of the total income, but without being liable to tax, only for the purpose of charging income tax in respect to the total income. So if you simplify this language, what do I mean by this? That assume that your net agricultural income is also the income. What is clause A? Just assume that your net agricultural income is also the income. That's it. And on which tax will be payable? Because it says what? Only for the purpose of charging income tax in respect of total income. Just to compute the tax on total income, assume that net agricultural income is a part. This is my clause A. Clause B. Just after this assumption, now how you have to compute the tax? This is what clause B says. The income tax chargeable shall be calculated as follows. Now how you have to compute the tax? The total income and net agricultural income shall be aggregated. Join those, and the amount of income tax shall be determined in respect of the aggregate income at the rates specified in said paragraph A, as if such aggregate income were the total income. So what is my first step? When you have assumed that agricultural income is also a part, so club combine agricultural income plus total income, and then whatever is the figure, compute the tax on that. So by default, I'm taxing now agricultural income. Section 10 clause 1 says it is tax free, but Finance Act says for the time being, combine it and calculate the tax. Next. Now what paragraph 2 says? It is clause 2 now. The net agricultural income shall be increased by a sum of 2,50,000 rupees, and the amount of income tax shall be determined in respect of the net agricultural income as so increased at the rates specified in the said paragraph A, as if the net agricultural income so increased were the total income. Now what it says? Now it says that in the agricultural income, add the exemption limit. In the agricultural income, add the exemption limit, and then whatever is the figure, compute the tax on that figure. This is next point. After this, then the answer is clear. After this, what Act says? The amount of income tax determined in accordance with subclause 1. What is subclause 1? Where I combined agricultural income with the total income and computed the tax. So whatever is that tax shall be reduced by, so from this tax, deduct which tax? By the amount of income tax determined in accordance with subclause 2. The tax which you have just computed above, where you merge agriculture with your exemption limit, that tax. So whatever is the difference, that sum is the income tax in respect of the total income. That will be treated as the tax on the total income. I think you are not getting this point in detail, so I need to assume the example also, but I wanted to show you the original language of the Finance Act. And here this was written that it says that whenever any individual is a resident of India whose age is 60 or more but less than 80, read 2,50,000 as what? 3 lakh. And similarly, in this section 2, subsection 2, wherever I have used agricultural, any individual who is resident and age is 80 years or more, read that 2,50,000 as 5 lakh. That is why I was saying that this 2 lakh is not stagnant. It will change as per the residential status of the assessee. That's it. It's over now. This is what the entire agricultural income taxability Now I will solve the examples now. Let me solve some examples for you. So let me solve. So let me again share the Word file and let me solve some examples for you. Not some example, only one example I will solve that will wind up the agricultural income taxability. So what points I have discussed? Agricultural income. India is 100% exempt from tax. 10 clause 1 says this. Second point is meaning of agricultural income. Section 2 clause 1a. And third point is that is known as scheme of partial integration. In general sense, it is known as scheme of partial integration. Act doesn't say this, and it is in the Finance Act. Wait a second, please. Now this is given in the Finance Act. It is known as scheme of partial integration. And let me discuss this one example of scheme of partial integration. Let me solve an example of agricultural income. This is the only question. After this, my topic agricultural income will be over. Then I will start a new topic. Now, these three things you have to cover basically. And when this scheme is applicable, or how agricultural income helps me in computing my tax liability. Agricultural income will still remain tax free. It only helps me in computing my tax liability. Now, to whom this scheme is applicable? When I showed you the Finance Act, I showed you only individual and HUF. Otherwise, if had I showed you other provisions of the Finance Act, other subsections, then this scheme is applicable to an individual, HUF, association of person or body of individual or artificial juridical person. It is not applicable to a partnership firm and to a company and to a local authority. That's it. This is first point. But I am concerned with individual and HUF only. Second, my net agricultural income must be more than 5,000. If it is less than, if it does not exceed 5,000, I will not apply this scheme. 5,000 minimum agricultural income must be there. And my non-agricultural income must be exceeding exemption limit. It may be 2,50,000, 3,00,000, 5,00,000 depending upon the situation. Only then the scheme is compulsorily applicable. It is not optional, it is compulsory. See this example. For the assessment year 2021, Mrs. X, date of birth 1st September 51. A resident furnishes the following information. Gross agricultural income 12,21,000. Expenditure on earning agricultural income 90,000. Now, it's very simple. What is my net agricultural income? How much is net agricultural income? Gross minus expenses. So my net agricultural income is 11,31,000. This is first point. Next point then. Non-agricultural income 4 lakh. Compute the tax liability of Mrs. X for the assessment year 2021 on the assumption that she contributes 60,000 towards PPF. Now, what is my gross total income? It is given 4 lakh less what? Deductions under which section? 80C PPF. How much? 60,000. And she pays insurance premium of 35,000 on her life insurance policy. Sum assured 1,50,000. Policy issued on 23rd March 10. Do you remember when life insurance policy is issued till 31st March 2012? What is the maximum limit? 20% of sum assured or premium paid, whichever is less. How much is 20% of sum assured? 1,50,000 into 20%. How much is 20%? 1,50,000 into 20%. 30,000 or premium paid 35,000, which is less. 30,000 is less. It is life insurance policy. 30,000 is less. That's it. It is my total income now. So from this question, I have computed these two items. It is 3,10,000. Any problem in these two calculations, please ask. Otherwise, I will proceed. So my first calculation is computation of net agricultural income. The second computation is computation of total income. Till this point, if you have any concern, you please ask. Otherwise, raise your hand. Okay, next point. Now, question says tax liability. This I computed. Now, question says tax liability. Can I compute the tax liability directly on 3,10,000? Answer is no. Can I say that since net agricultural income is 100% tax free, on 3,10,000 I can directly compute the tax? Answer is no. If I compute, it will be wrong answer, because I always need to check for this scheme of partial integration, or practically you can say taxability of total income when you have agricultural income. Now, are the conditions satisfied? Answer is yes. Is the assessee individual? Answer is yes. Is the net agricultural income exceeds 5,000? Yes, it is much more than 5,000. Third, is the non-agricultural income exceeds exemption limit? That I need to check. How much is the exemption limit of this lady? She is born on 1st September 51. So what is the age in my previous year 1920? 61, 71, 81, 91, 2001, 2011. Now in this year 1920, she is around 69. She is around 68 years and some months of age. That means she is a resident senior citizen. And for this lady, the exemption limit is how much? 3 lakh rupees. And my total income is more than my exemption limit. So in present case, scheme of partial integration is applicable. Because all the following 3 conditions are satisfied. You have to write the theory condition that the assessee is individual, non-agriculture income exceeds exemption limit, and agriculture income exceeds 5,000. This you should write. Okay, in the fair you can write yourself. I'm writing only short form. Non-agricultural is more than her exemption limit. If yes, in what steps you will apply it? So you can say that computation of tax. 1. Assume or merge agriculture with non-agriculture. So tax on how much and then compute the tax. So tax on how much? Club your agriculture, final agricultural, net agricultural with total income. This is my step 1. This is my first step. $14,41,000. Now, how much is the tax on 14,41,000? It is simple. Up to 2 lakh, up to 3 lakh nil, because this lady is a resident senior citizen. 3 lakh to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. Above 10 lakh, 30%. So with this, the tax comes out to be 1,10,000 plus 30% of income exceeding 10 lakh. That is 1441 minus 10 lakh. With this, the tax comes out to be 243,300. 2,42,300. Step 2. Now you merge agriculture with exemption so that all exempted incomes are clubbed basically. Tax on agriculture plus exemption limit. Exemption limit is 3 lakh. Agriculture is 1131. 14,31,000. How much is the tax? 1,10,000 plus 30% of 31 minus 10 lakh. It will be 239,300. 239,300. What is step 3? If you remember, the difference is the tax. That's it. So what is the difference of step 1 and step 2? The difference is how much? 242,300 minus 239,300. It is equal to how much? 3,000. This is the tax. That's it. Now this is the tax, not final tax. It is the tax as per slab. After this, as usual, what you have to give? You have to give if rebates are available. After this, as usual, this tax is the first stage. After this, you have to do like this. It's not the fair presentation. For fair presentation, you can refer any book. So they will show you that how to present. Rebate under section 87A. You have to give if any. You have to add surcharge if any. You have to add health and education cess at the rate of 4% if any. You have to less any prepaid taxes if any. So what is the entire format that will go on as usual. But this is the initial stage of tax. Now how much will be the rebate? How much will be the rebate? Now for rebate, total income is considered. So do remember that to apply rebate, surcharge and surcharge, non-agricultural total income is considered. Just because my agriculture plus non-agriculture is this 14,41, don't decide on the basis of for giving rebate etc. on this value. This is only to compute tax. Check the total income. What is my total income? It was 3,10,000, and since it does not exceed 5 lakh rupees and the assessee is a resident, she will get rebate under section 87A. How much? How much? 12,500 or 100% of tax. Whichever is lower. So which is lower? 100% of taxes, 3,000 is lower. Nil. Surcharge nil. If now everything will go nil, but you have to show this. Show this means whenever these figures are there, you have to write these. If these are not there, then in the examination there is no need to write. I simply want to show that had there been some figures, I would have included this tax liability. Nil. This is the way to apply the scheme of partial integration. In this, I could not have computed what I should not have done. In this case, I should not have done like this, done like follow, like the way given below. I should not have done this. What I should not have done, my non-agricultural in this case is, if you remember, it is 11 lakh. Sorry, my agricultural income in this case is how much? 1131. My net agricultural is 1131. My non-agricultural is 3,10,000. What you should not have done, you should not have said that since agriculture income is 100% tax free, so it is exempt. And since non-agriculture income is 3 lakh, so what you should not have done, tax is how much? Up to 3 lakh nil. So 3 lakh to 3,10,000, that means 5% of 3,10,000 minus 3 lakh. You should not have done this in this way. 10,000 to 5%, 500 less rebate under section 87A. Here also rebate would have been what? 100% of tax or 12,500. Which is less? 500 is less. Now coincidentally, with this way also, the tax is nil, but it is only a coincidence. In reality, you are not giving a rebate of 500. Don't just see the tax. The rebate in reality is 3,000 rupees and not 500. You should not have done in this way. It is compulsory to apply the scheme. Agricultural income will help. As you can see, what help it has done to the government of India. Had there been no rebate, my tax would have been 3,000. So this option, not option, this way of computing the tax has increased my tax. And in this way, government got maximum tax. Had there been no such scheme, maximum tax would have been 500. Had there been no such tax, no such scheme, maximum tax would have been 500. But now this scheme has simply increased the assessor's tax rate. increase the assesses tax. Now, had there been no rebate, government would have got 3,000. If there is no such scheme, government would have got only 500. So don't solve it in this way. Just solve it in the way I have done so, because it is the requirement of the law. Is this scheme of partial integration clear? If yes, please raise your hand. Very good. So that's all. The topic agricultural income is also over. Goodbye.